pretty sure. He used that Strat for the whole album.
That was just another example of the unorganized.
You know what?
Super Mountain.
It needed to be that, you know? It needed to be that. So we did the women. And then on the women, there's a song about a review about a girl who did the one girl who did, and the only person who did a bad review on The Band That Sucks on iTunes.
On iTunes. What was it?
And her screen name was Jessica MK11. And we made a song about it. Jake Timon, I was like, hey man, we're doing this thing, writing about this chick, do some shit. Maybe mention these 3 keywords, or not. And go. And then he recorded the shit, and then I'm like, alright, that's tight, your voice is kind of loose. I'm like, maybe it would sound tight with autotune. Put autotune on it. Oh man, Jake Timon's voice sounds pretty tight with autotune. That ended up, about a month later, I ended up doing a remix just from that fucking vocal. And if I could go back in time right now, no, I'm just kidding. But I ended up doing a remix, and somewhere in that lyric for Jessica MK11, he says, I do respect the things you do. Mm-hmm. What is the rest of it? Your opinion and what
you do to me, or
and what you say to me, and if you don't like good, then that's fine with me. And then I ended up doing a remix of that, because at the time I was doing a lot of electronic shit and solo shit with cheat codes. And basically I ended up doing some verses on it, like kind of rap style, but whatever. But not really rap, whatever I did. And that ended up we ended up deciding that we wanted to do like this dichotomy and have like an electronic album and a really hard album, kind of a softer album, but still both of them have screaming, both of them have singing, both of them have electronic bits, but one of them's just kind of the pulse of the beat is electronic. And me and Jacob ended up doing this thing like, hey, we should create like an Edward versus Jacob kind of thing, because at the time it was a Twilight thing, and we're like, you know what, in marketing, if you create a choice, an interactive choice between something, you're still choosing essentially the thing, the franchise. Mm-hmm. So we're like, let's have it Cheat Codes versus Jessica Foreman. Mm-hmm. And we had a plan to promote the albums by doing a music video every week, or filming one every week. And we only did 2 music videos, because first week we did Fine With Me, and the second week we did Twice the Wolf, and after that we had to focus on shows too much. We never ended up filming anymore.
We played a lot of shows.
I think that there was a subtle competition, a genuine feeling of competition between me and Jacob Broughton about us wanting, because he really was about Jessica Foreman, because he wrote a lot of grind songs for that, and obviously Cheat Codes was originally going to be my solo album, and then I ended up incorporating the band with it. So there was a genuine competition between me and him deep down. Yeah. And when Fine With Me kind of blew up in a sense, because it was a pop song, so then it kind of reached more ears, and the female fan base was just like kind of skyrocketing. Yeah. When it blew up and it had like, 5 times more plays than Twice the Wolf. Yeah. Like, and it was just growing and growing. I think that there was this weird void that happened, and Jacob Broughton wasn't around a lot because he was working this construction job. Yeah. And that was the reason he wasn't around, and then we had to make up for it by doing the Fine With Me video. Mm-hmm. So there was kind of that void. We ended up...
he wasn't even in the video.
No, he wasn't even there, yeah.
Yeah, I always forget
What's funny is Twice the Wolf, we did that kind of in compensation, like, okay, Jake Timon got the spotlight with the other one, let's do Twice the Wolf, where it's just me and Jacob, and then Jake Timon's just in the hot tub, like, chilling, like, everyone else has a place, and Jake Timon's just chilling somewhere. And I thought that was the tightest thing, like, he's just like, I'm just in the video, like, I'm in the crew. It's just like, I thought that was so rap.
That is true, and one thing that I loved about Super Mountain, that era, is that it really felt like some kind of clique. Like, we had like a family, and we would make time, which a lot of bands don't do this, is that we would make time for just band hangouts, and then we'd make time for practices. Like, it would be separate. That way we could have more chemistry, and I think not enough bands do that.
We really flourished when we started doing Magic the Gathering together, too. That was an era.
Yes. You had to have another hobbies or something, but we all played Magic together.